this today from a record store. The people save me wheat cents because I give them pennies all the time in their take a coin or leave a coin thing. It's a little cup. Now, went by one of my coin dealers and bought some stuff, and I was getting $2 back. And he just happens to have a lot of these Ike, so I got a couple more Ike dollars for my tube. These are just copper nickel. They will ping, but it's real high pitched. Silver would ping differently, but I have a American Silver Eagle tube. I've been putting them in. This is two more. It's near the top. Lid still goes on. There might be room for another one. All right. Now, one thing that is kind of cool I got a while back. Hello, Bottle Top Bandit. Hello, Kansas Kid. The Scottsdale 100-gram bar. Kind of thick. Almost like about the length of a small finger. It's a good size silver bar, and I'd buy more of these, especially if I could get it for the same price I got this one. Yeah, this tube is American Silver Eagles with Ike dollars in it, all copper nickel, nothing special. It's quite a few of them. Well, that one's kind of dirty, bad. A lot of these are bicentennials, but they're not real collectible. Thanks. I thought this was a really nice bar too, and at the time of buying it, 3/9 fine silver was about $1 a gram, and it's 100 grams, and I paid $100 for it. It's almost no premium. So there's 10 Ikes. And there's 11. So there's 21 Ike dollars in this, and I think there's room for at least one more. And the lid go down without catching. Because I don't think an Ike dollar fits in the lid. Well, almost. Alright. What I got today. I think you're going to like this. It is worn out. This is a crown coin from New England. Or not New England, but England. And it's sterling silver. I don't know how well this ping is going to come, but these things ping really nice. And for a while. Now, this, when it was new, weighed a little bit more than a U.S. silver dollar. It's like 28 something grams. This weighs 26.9 because it's worn quite a bit. But it was $24, which is so close to melt that I didn't care. But I think that's an awesome coin. I'm glad he was able to find this stuff. Now, what else did he find for me? Well, he had a Barber half dollar. 1906. Likely Philadelphia, but you can't tell if there's a mint mark there or not. What else did he have? Well, I think you're going to dig this too. Because he had this. It's a cap bust half dollar. Now, I don't know how well this will come up. I think that might be a 3.2. It could be a 22, but it's from the early 1800s. If it is 1822, it's over 200 years old. It's worn quite a bit, but once I tell you how much I paid for it, you'll probably be amazed. Well, this one is also slightly damaged, 18, and it's 35. It's not quite as much worn, but these, because I'm a good customer, I guess, these two cap bust $half, $11 a piece, which puts them probably below melt. And the barber, well, it was actually more. But speaking of other stuff, he at one point got me this coin. This thing's a ghost. There's almost nothing left to it. But there's enough left to it that I was able to identify the country, narrow it down, because I think he thought it might be 90%, but that's a 38, and it's a 2.5 good one. I want to thank Addicted to Minis because he had a bunch of these that were uncirculated, and as soon as I saw the shape of the head and what the back looked like, I was able to identify it. 72% silver, but it is a definite ghost coin. Now, let's look at something else I ain't looked at in a while. Oh, I forgot I had a Morgan and a Peace dollar here. 22. Then this older Mexican, 1902, 90, basically 3 silver, 90.3%. I got that relatively cheap. I also got this, 1933, 1 peso coin, 7.20. Also got this from him, which is World War I era, basically. 1912, it's actually right before German Z mark, which without the hole and any wear is nearly a half ounce of 90% silver. Well, I mean, the silver content's about a half ounce. Now, this, barely circulated, 1948. The 47 of this is a little bit lower mintage. This one is the one you'll probably see first and foremost. It's 90% silver. It's 30 grams. It's a hefty piece. They don't make them like this no more. I like it quite a bit. Now, let's talk about something else. Every now and then, my other coin dealer I go to gets a whole bunch of 1 ounce silver pieces, which this is one. It's the 50th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. You can read the date there. This is a vintage piece and probably should have been more than it was, but he priced it like a generic because he had a whole bunch of 1 ounce pieces. I quite like this. And if the Kansas Kid's still around, sure he likes this. It's a Liberty Silver, one which these carry a bit of a premium if you buy them online. I didn't, and they were bought out of and here's another one. This one actually has a date on it, 1983. And here's one more, 1986. Now, what's left in this pile? A couple Churchill coins, and I guess I got knocked off for a brief second. Page of Philip and Now, these silver dollars. I'll be right back. This is full of a bunch of silver dollars I got over the last few years. Yeah, I did send you those, didn't I? Did I send you two? I can't remember. But yeah, I've got a bunch of these. They're just copper nickel. Had they made them in silver like sterling or something, some of them anyway, would have been worth something, but I get them for about 50 cents from my coin dealer. Now, I think in this group of US silver dollars, these are all Peace dollars or Morgans. I think, I'll put them back in the tube for a moment so I don't drop them all over the place. I'm going to show these. I feel like I saved these three cut out ones from going to the scrapper, because basically, and I got them pretty close to melt for what's left of it anyway, because I weighed them. They're down quite a bit with the big holes in them, but I thought I'd buy them anyway because they look cool. Now let's see if I can find what I'm looking for. I'm digging through here looking for a certain Peace dollar. Thought it was in here. Ah, there it is. Of course, in terms of a ghost Peace dollar, whoa, I'll drop that. Get them back in the tube, keep them safe. This particular Peace dollar, you can't see a date or much beyond an outline. I think this thing, if I remember correctly, is less than 25 grams, so it's pretty worn. Now, for those who've heard high profile Peace dollar, or high relief, I mean, apparently they made a few of them in 1922, and there's not many known to exist. I think it's like 12. But if you have a 1921, you start looking at them spikes and how thick they look on the 21, which has a hole in it. I was able to get it for a bargain price. This one is a high relief, but all the 1921s are. They proved very difficult to strike, so they changed the design a little flatter. But the spikes is a real quick way to tell when they're long and thin like those compared to being long and thick like those. That's the difference. If you ever find a 22 that's the spikes look like that, it might possibly be a high relief one. Now, one other thing you can kind of look, I don't know how well it'll show up in the video, but this field leading to the rim, it's kind of flat looking until you hit the rim. When you look at this one, and if I can get the light to hit it just right, you'll notice the edge is a little bit rounded as it goes down to the field. So that's another little difference. But, you know, 21s, more Peace dollars are fairly common, but not super common. They only made 1 million. Well, just a touch over 1 million. Hello, FG Stacker. But yeah, That is the quick way you tell a 21 has really thick. And if you have a 22 high relief, it will also be thick. It will look just like this one, except the date. I mean, look how thin that third one that's to the rim is compared to that one. Now, granted, this is slightly worn compared to that one, a little bit more, but it's still thicker. I have some 21s, but not handy. Anyway, I've went on for a little while. I'm going to put these back in this tube. And I like using these 1 ounce tubes like this one, designed for 1 ounce rounds, to put silver dollars in, because this particular tube, if I remember correctly, there's about 24 silver dollars in here. I'm not going to count them right now, but this is pretty heavy. Now, oh, I forgot to put them other ones back up. This one, it needs to go in there too. Once I get that one back in, and the 3 that are cut out for jewelry, which in my opinion, as I said before, I feel like I saved this from being melted. And I like how it looks, even though you lost a lot of silver. But this particular tube, you really can't get any more in it without it shoving the lid up, probably with that piece dollar having the little ring on it, which I doubt that ring is made out of silver. But that's that. Now, again, we'll go back and look real quick at the coin I was really happy to get for right at melt, even though it's worn. Actually, I looked these up. They don't go up in value too much until you start getting to AU ones. And even then, it's not a whole lot until you get to like one that would grade very uncirculated, mint state 60 or higher. Then they become about, I think the highest value was 1,500 or something. It would have been a lot more if it wasn't worn. And to be able to get two cap bust half dollars, even worn like these, for $11 each was quite a buy. If you can get them that cheap, they're right at or maybe even slightly below melt. And it's definitely a coin that if I can get it for $11, I'm buying it even if it is damaged and slicked. These are basically just slicked. But even with it being worn quite a bit, you can read the rim edge on this. And if it'll focus, it's tough to get it focused, but it says $0.50 or 50 cents on the rim. This one says it too, but it's, you can read it, but it's starting to get a little bit worn. Now, one other thing about these, if you don't know, you compare it to a more modern $0.50, it's bigger around a little bit. And it starts at like 13.23 or somewhere around there grams. Actually, about half of what a silver dollar weighs, give or take. But it was less than the Barber, which, like I said, if I can buy these for $11, I'm going to buy them. Now, had these two in my stack. Nothing too special about them. These could have been tubed. I don't exactly remember what I paid for this one. Oh wait, that one's not real. It's the one with the carving on it that is about the right weight for these, but doesn't test. But I like the way that skull looks anyway. It's pretty cool, actually. I've featured that in a lot of my videos for a long time. Now this, look at it. It's Philadelphia 1921. Now, there is a story for this. The story for this is, as I heard from a coin dealer who's no longer with us, they used to use these in Reno in slot machines. And people were taking the dollar coins home because they're older. So they ground the date off of it, hoping that people wouldn't take them. Now, they don't use these in slot machines anymore, but at the time they were using them, the dollar was worth more than what the silver weight was. So it's an interesting deal. Now, did they use peace dollars and Ike dollars in those machines? Possibly. I don't really know. But that's a cool story, in my opinion. It also allowed this to be a pretty cheap buy. I think it was maybe $1, maybe $2 over melt when I bought it. Not very much. And usually you pay a bit of a premium on that kind of stuff. Now, so what we're going to do, this, if I remember correctly, is slightly bigger than, well, no, it isn't. I guess it would fit right in a coin mount if I wanted to put one in it. It's had a lot of wear and tear on it. Anyway, that's pretty much about all I wanted to cover tonight. So I'm hoping that everyone has a good day tomorrow and sleep well tonight. Hello, Liberty Bleeds Silver. I don't know if you've seen this. Scottsdale bar and stamped 100 grams. I like this quite a bit. As I was saying earlier, when I bought it, 100 grams of 3/9 fine silver at the time was about $1 per gram. And I got it, I think it was 104. I'm trying to remember exactly what I paid, but actually this says 100 on the little bag it was in. So apparently I got it right at melt, which is real cool. But I buy from that guy a lot, so I think he gave me a good deal on it that he probably wouldn't have extended to just anybody else unless they were also a really good customer. And he also is the guy who sold me these for $11 a piece, which I'm going to buy anytime. And capped best half dollars, even if they're worn like these are, it's still an interesting piece of history. That's in 1835, 190 years old. This one could be 1822, but the date's gone far enough. It's really hard to tell. It could be 32. I don't really know, but $11. They're together. If I remember correctly, they were about, I think one was 12.2 grams, and the other one was about 12.4. So they were pretty close to melt. Yeah, I weighed them. They are worn. They start out more than a more modern $half does. They're bigger, round, and they have edge lettering on them, which I can read, and it says 50 cents or $half, or $half or 50 cents, whichever way it was. But yeah, these are real silver. I mean, they're the real thing. Let's see if how well it pings. Well, it's hard to get it to ping. I don't want to just throw it off my finger, but this also has lettered edge. This thing's about just over 200 years old, and it's sterling silver. They made this design from 1818 to 1820, and it is worn. I got it ringing really good earlier, but this might not pick it up too well. Of course, I need it right up on top of my fingertip. Rings a long time. Sterling has a nice ring to it, just like 90% silver does. But never pinged this one, and I probably should have, and then I would have known it wasn't a real piece dollars. I kind of thought the design looks about right for the face, and then someone ground and made a design on the back, which that's actually pretty cool looking. Unfortunately, it's not silver. And as soon as you go and try to ping it, you know it ain't silver. Even though I believe it weighs a little over 25 grams and is about the right size and thickness for a silver dollar, it just isn't right. And I didn't know it when I bought it, but now I do. And well, I have some regrets about buying it, but that's okay. You make a mistake, you learn. Now, it's not a Ducat, I don't think. I have looked it up. It's a 1 crown coin. So I don't really know. Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, it looks real cool. It's a magician's stunt coin, basically, is what it is. And that design, I thought someone might have hand carved it, but it's struck this way. Because I found this design on other ones. And some of them have the tails of the eagle from a regular piece dollar, but it is not a silver and it's not a piece dollar. But keep looking for your treasures. You never know when you might find something. It was $19 at that point. Why this thing's being picky about focusing. But oh, you mean the piece dollar? Yeah, it's not silver. This is not silver, and I had it checked. But if you ping it, you already know it's not silver. It pings, but not like 90%. It pings like a copper nickel piece. We can do that and then compare it to this one, which is copper nickel. It's not right. It's not silver. I'm not that worried anymore. But yeah, Barber, $half. There's a little over melt, this one. But not too bad considering I got these other 3 for right at or below melt. I quite like this. It's really cool. Anyway, I've been live for a while. I think it's about time to go ahead and say goodnight to everyone. And we will see you next time, because that's pretty much all I have for now.